Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. The first U.S. president to fly in a helicopter was Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1957. As part of a push for faster and more flexible transportation between the White House and presidential retreats like Camp David or Andrews Air Force Base, the military began using helicopters for short-distance travel. Initially, both the U.S. Army and the U.S. Marine Corps provided rotary wing support. In 1958, the Marine Corps was designated as the sole provider of presidential helicopter transport. From that point, any Marine Corps helicopter carrying the president is referred to by the call sign Marine One. The Army continued to provide backup support until 1978. The use of helicopters is prioritized for shorter distances that require air travel. Marine One is the call sign of any United States Marine Corps aircraft carrying the President of the United States. Marine One transports the President of the United States from the White House to other locations in Washington, D.C. As a security measure, Marine One always flies in a group with identical helicopters, mainly 5 in number. Out of these 5 helicopters, 1 carries the president, while the others serve as decoys. After takeoff, these helicopters begin to shift their formation to obscure the president's location. Moreover, Marine One is also equipped with standard military anti-missiles to counter hostile aerial threats. It is easier and safer for the president to travel on a Marine One helicopter piloted by members of Marine Helicopter Squadron 1, or HMX-1. Being an HMX-1 pilot is not an easy job. It requires being proactive and ready to fly at any hour of the day or night.
Your daily mission could change even within that day. You could find out in the morning that you think you're going to go to Minneapolis, and then a couple hours later find out that you're going to go to Kansas City instead. It changes very, very quickly.
The ability to quickly evacuate the president after landing, and with fewer security risks than ground travel, makes the HMX-1 one of the most valuable security assets available for the protection of the president. HMX-1's topmost priority is to be ready with the aircraft at a moment's notice. The squadron is also responsible for training future pilots and crew members who would later support the White House travel needs. Additionally, HMX-1 coordinates with other military and civilian agencies during the president's travel, which provides additional safety and security for the president while flying from one point to another.
The mission is much different, the fleet's mission. Here, we're not really in a hostile environment, but it's a no-fail mission. So the level of importance is still there. We don't ever want to leave the president stranded somewhere. We need to make sure that the people who go with him and all his contingency are able to get where they need to go every time.
Helicopters play a vital role during presidential visits to U.S. Navy aircraft carriers at sea missions that serve both strategic military and diplomatic purposes. For such operations, the president and accompanying officials are typically transported aboard specially configured helicopters such as the VH-3D Sea King and VH-60 White Hawk. These aircraft provide a secure, dependable link between land bases and carrier decks, ensuring rapid and protected access to naval operations. The VH-3D can carry up to 14 passengers, while the VH-60N accommodates 11. Both require a pilot, co-pilot, and crew chief on board, with the VH-60N also including a communications systems operator to support secure connectivity throughout the flight. Their ability to land directly on an aircraft carrier's flight deck highlights not only the advanced capabilities of these helicopters, but also the precision and expertise of the Marine pilots who fly them. This naval component of presidential transport illustrates the critical role of rotary wing aviation in meeting the diverse and demanding logistical requirements of the Commander-in-Chief. When the President is required to travel internationally, a helicopter will not do. Air Force One, the most coveted call sign an aircraft could have, becomes the nation's most secure asset at the very moment when the President gets on board. The legacy of Air Force One dates back to 1943, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt flew to Casablanca to participate in the Casablanca Conference. This is the first time a sitting president has traveled abroad on an airplane. Equipment operated was a Boeing 314 Clipper, which was a long-range flying boat operated by Pan Am Airlines. With the enhancement of global connectivity and threats to presidential security, the requirement for a dedicated aircraft was identified. After President Eisenhower took the presidential aircraft to the jet age in 1959, President Kennedy received the first custom-made B-707, designated VC-137C, in 1962. These two B-707 jets were retired when the legendary B-747 undertook presidential responsibility in 1990. Regardless of its age, the VC-25A, the current Air Force One variant, houses unique, state-of-the-art features that make it unrivaled in all terms. Two identical B-747 200B jets with tail numbers of 28,000 and 29,000 take the President swiftly and safely to any location around the globe. The aircraft can receive fuel in flight, allowing it to fly longer and stay aloft as long as required. This might come in handy should the aircraft be required to act as a mobile command center in case of a severe attack on the United States. The electronic and communication equipment on Air Force One provides global coverage via normal and secure connections. The passive missile approach warning system of the aircraft can detect approaching missiles, and the directional infrared countermeasure systems built into the aircraft could thwart any threat by emitting modulated infrared light and jamming the infrared seeker of the missile. Apart from that, the aircraft can dispense chaff and flares to confuse radar and infrared-guided missiles. Except for the fortified safety, the fancy and cushy interior of the Air Force One is definitely a standout. Even on a flight, the President shoulders the same responsibilities as he does in the White House. the first custom-made presidential airplane was manufactured, keeping the president's heavy workload in mind. While the interior configuration of the aircraft was highly influenced by the desires of the particular president, VC-137C, or the Special Air Mission 26000, had a personal suite, communication center, lounge, kitchen, and accommodations for the press and other passengers. While the current Air Force One is brimming with technologically advanced retrofits, the aging airframe needs to be retired sooner rather than later. Two modified B-7478 airplanes with the code VC-25B are preparing to embark on the role of Air Force One. While the current B-747-200 aircraft has a floor area of 4,000 square feet, the larger Dash 8 variant will have more floor space. Additionally, military-grade avionics and the self-defense system will make the future Air Force One formidable and unassailable. Due to the high degree of security provided, presidential travel is no easy task. The Presidential Airlift Group, a part of the White House Military Office, undertakes the arduous task of planning a presidential visit. Any airport expecting Air Force One should go through stringent scrutiny for weeks. When the aircraft is approaching, all the commercial traffic is taken away from a definite radius of the airspace, allowing the Air Force One to land in one go. The entire airport, or a part of it, will be closed, and a ramp freeze will be ordered until Air Force One is cleared from the taxiway. The FAA will issue a temporary flight rule to filter the airplanes entering the airport. When the president deplanes after completing a flight leg, Air Force One is relieved of the responsibility of protecting the president, and the responsibility transfers to the presidential motorcade. This spellbinding convoy is a sight to behold, and the arrival of presidential limousines accompanying the beast could possibly be an awe-inspiring sight for every spectator. Organizing the presidential motorcade is a collective effort where personnel from the Secret Service, local law enforcement, and the White House Military Office work hand in hand. A route car takes the lead of the motorcade. It communicates the nature of the road to the Secret Service, which adjusts the motorcade accordingly. Next in line are the sweepers. As the name implies, they travel in a group, paving the way for the motorcade. Usually, sweepers are a collection of SUVs and motorcycles. The lead car comes next, preceding the presidential limousines. Now it is time for the presidential limousines. The president travels in his armored Cadillac, the Beast. This armored majesty gets the codenamed stagecoach at the moment when the president hops in. The exact number of limousines used will depend on security reasons, and at least 2 identical Cadillacs will take part in the motorcade, carrying identical number plates. During the move, drivers continuously change the positions of the stagecoach with spare limousines to conceal the exact location. The limousines are followed by the halfback, which is a security SUV carrying armed Secret Service agents. Then, the electronic countermeasure vehicles arrive. They have eyes on any incoming missiles or projectiles aimed at the motorcade. Next in line are the support vehicles accommodating delegates, SUVs carrying counter-assault teams, and the hazardous material handling team. Press vehicles. The Roadrunner facilitates communication, and an ambulance will be at the tail end of the motorcade. A set of police vehicles and motorcycles marks the end of the motorcade and acts as the rear buffer. While the presidential motorcade adds dignity to the presidential inauguration, the presidential parade showcases American might while bestowing unwavering respect on the president-elect. While moving by air or ground, the safety of the highest office in the world should not be compromised. From stringent security protocols to multiple layers of redundancies, the safety of the U.S. president has been the foremost concern. When the president is well protected, he can serve the nation with indomitable commitment without being deterred by security concerns. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.